Welcome to BHOS Mode.
Hello, my name is BHOS and welcome to my house of Starcraft. Boss Mode is a show where I teach you how to be a boss in Starcraft 2. Today we're going to be looking at a Zerg build called the 14-Pool Baneling All-In. It's a build that's specifically used for Baneling busting Terran wall-ins in the early game and countering early massling attacks. This build is strong against any early bio attacks, but you have to scout your enemy carefully. If you're against a Zerg, for example, and he goes, let's say, roaches, then this build is useless. Then I'd recommend building a roach warren as soon as possible, droning up as much as possible, and building maybe 1 or 2 defensive spine crawlers, depending on how many roaches you scout and whether or not your opponent is expanding. And the supply depot goes down right at his entrance. This will be part of the enemy's wall-in. And there's the Overlord on 9, followed up by 2 drones. And there goes a scout right after the drones get put into production. Note that the Zerg player still doesn't know where the Terran player is. That's why he sent his drone to scout both bomb locations. All he knows is that the Terran player is not in the top parallel position. And the 14 pool goes down, and right after that, the 13 extractor. As you can see here, the Zerg is keeping his drone inside of his enemy's base to see what he's doing. He's not scouting once and taking his drone back out again and sending it back to his mineral line like many people would do. Because this is an all-in build, which is based on defeating the opponent in one blow, it's important to know that everything is going by plan. It might have been smarter to set a patrol path for the drone instead of manually controlling it. That way he could have managed his base a bit better and gotten the timings perfectly right, but that's personal preference. Now, imagine the Terran player scouts your Baneling's nest and decides to build Marauders instead of Marines. What should you do? Well, there's actually no need to worry at all. All you have to do is send 1 Zergling up his ramp every now and then to see what army composition he has and whether or not he's reinforcing his wall with bunkers or more supply depots. If he decides to dump his minerals into more buildings to reinforce his wall, you can be sure that his army won't be too strong. Then a 6-minute Baneling bust might not be enough to break his wall. Then you can just lean back, build more drones, expand, and try to out-macro your enemy. If he only builds a single bunker with Marines, your Baneling should just be enough to destroy a depot in his wall and the bunker with the Marines. If it's not enough to destroy the bunker as well, just run into his mineral line. And don't forget to flood his base with further units. Then you'll win for sure. And very important, be sure to rally your lings to his front door. Otherwise, you might lose precious time in which he can reinforce his wall again. Now, many people might suicide their drone by running back into the base to get some last piece of information. I personally prefer stealing his gas geyser though, to make sure he doesn't do some wacky banshee opening and to see his unit composition. Doing this also distracts your opponent and gets him out of his thoughts, which can be quite helpful. As you can see, the lings weren't just sent down to the enemy's entrance, but were sent along the far end. This is important so that the enemy doesn't see that you're preparing a Baneling bust. As you can see here, that part of the map isn't visible for the Terran player.
The Hive cluster is under attack.
Now at about 540 you can see the first Banelings being morphed in. Now in this case it's only 6 Banelings, but if executed perfectly, you should be able to run into your enemy's base shortly before 6 minutes with exactly 8 or more Banelings. But 6 Banelings is enough to destroy a simple supply depot. You can see he sent in his Banelings first, but immediately sent the Lings behind just so that the Banelings don't take full damage from the Marines. Now the Lings are in the base, and the enemy GG's. That's it for today. Feel free to leave a comment and rate this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.